Good morning. Welcome. I'm Mandy from Soulfully Soil, and I'm coming to you today from Southern Alberta, Canada. And I'm really excited to be here again for this edition of Weekly Possibilities. And the collaboration seems to be coming to an end in the terms of its 4 weeks. And it's been brilliant every day being able to wake up and hear and feel a new woman's perspective on their lives and where they stand. And today is my offering to you. Action. It's pretty apt that it's the first week of New Year's. I had a friend text me the other day and ask me if I'd been following my resolutions, to which I replied, I don't do resolution. That doesn't work for me. Never has felt right. And when I consider action, and if I'm being really truthful with myself, action is something that I have a bit of a move away from now. Action has taken over my life. My ability and pattern and strategy of doing has kept me going and running and running and running on this invisible treadmill in my own world. And the last couple of years of identifying that my doing or my action is taking over as a habitual way of being, I've really taken a breath and taken a step back. So rather than being in this pattern of reaction inside of myself to any given circumstance, I have to fix this, I have to do that, I have to make sure that's ready, the level of calibration and management and control and effort that takes in my world is no longer interesting to me. It no longer serves me, and I would argue it served me for a very short period of my time of my life, and it hasn't for the rest. I'm approaching my 40th birthday this year in a few weeks, and this concept of action and doing, I think, is something that plagues a lot of people as they start to age. The what have I done with my life? The where am I going with my life? And for me, relieving or allowing myself or giving myself permission to let go and not do anything has been the greatest gift I could offer myself. I've set this beautiful intention for the next 12 months to allow myself to gracefully die, to let go of who I've been and get out of that hamster wheel and that rat race and that running and running of strategies over and over. So I heard Karina say the other day that she waits until the last minute to perform action or something. And what I know of my experience in my world is what would be perceived as the opposite of that. I'm an overachiever, an overdoer, an overmanager, an overcontroller. And I've used these strategies in ways to keep me safe and in ways to make my ship run really smoothly. I'm in constant calibration, and there's this like software that runs underneath the surface for me all the time. And I recognize it now. So for me, the action, the redefinition of action in my own world is this softening and letting go, and not a performance requirement to do or to manage or to control, but rather checking in. And as I have an instinct, as I have the impulse to do, it becomes an impulse to be. It becomes an impulse. It comes directly from the void. So it's this intuitive flow. The impulse comes and I choose to do. And when it comes from that way, when it emerges from the essence of who I am, there's ease and flow. There's not this like opposing force, got to get it done, dig in, got to be organized, got to make sure all my ducks are in a row. It's a very different level of action. It's an emergence. It's like the thought I have or the impulse I have has already created or manifested it on the other side. All I have to do is take the next step. And it becomes this beautiful ease and dance, and I can feel the magic in that. I don't feel burnt out and overwhelmed by it. And often this time of year, that's when I've noticed this like heavy responsibility in my world of, things I need to change, things I need to do, things I need to uphold. Let's get it figured out, figure out where my weaknesses are and fix them. And I think that's been the setup in the cultural society that we live in. And so this year I'm giving myself the gift of permission to allow action to be an emergence, a gentle ease and flow coming from that great knowing inside of me, so that beautiful weaving of my intuition and my impulse, and allow it to move. And one of the ways that I do that and I'm able to stay present is by all that Lisa has spoken of in terms of the breath. Allowing myself to soften, recognize when there's tension, recognize when I have a need to manage a situation. Because my action, when I do it from that space of reaction, that need to control, I make my world smaller, and I no longer have this spacious, beautiful capacity. It becomes this fixed and tightly woven and controlled, contrived. It's much more difficult that way. So, as we move forward into this year they call 2018, I invite you to consider action as not a doing so much as the essence of being. It's the traction that happens when we allow our intuitiveness to be in flow. It's when we allow those impulses to arise and emerge out of us. And almost, well, it causes our tissue to move and make choices and be. So thank you from snowy southern Alberta, and I look forward to the next collaboration with these beautiful women. Mahalo.